Hey everyone, I'm Jake from the Early College, and today I'll be giving you a rundown of the Skyrim Civil War. The Skyrim Civil War started in the 4th era, year 175, whenever Ulfric Stormcloak, Jarl of Windhelm, murdered High King Torg of Skyrim. Think of Jarl as like a governor role, and High King as a president role, so you have High King over Jarl. You may be wondering how someone can be murdered in a duel, but with context you'll understand. Ulfric Stormcloak is not your average Joe. He speaks the language of the dragons, and with that he can shout, meaning he can use his Thu'um, which is, this is one such Thu'um. Thu'ums can come in many shapes and sizes, such as clear skies, which will clear the weather, to animal allegiance, which will put an animal on your side to fight with you. The one that Ulfric used to kill Torg was Unrelenting Force. He shouted Torg apart, killing him instantly. With this context, you can probably see why it was unfair, to say the least. The Stormcloaks and Ulfric were imprisoned immediately by the Imperial soldiers, as they conceived it as murder, yet the Stormcloaks believed it was just Ulfric now becoming High King, as if you kill the High King, you are the High King. The Stormcloaks and the Imperials are not the only ones in all of Skyrim. The continent is known as Tamriel. In the north you have Skyrim, and the southwest you have the Somerset Isles, and about central you have the Imperials. Skyrim is focused in the north, where the Nords are, and for a little bit of background information, the Thalmor and the Imperials are at war with each other, currently in a conflict known as the Great War. This war recently came to a T whenever Ulfric Stormcloak aided Thalmor aggressor soldiers in the capturing of the Imperial city in Cyrodiil. This forced Emperor Titus II to sign the White Gold Concordat, which was a treaty basically subjugating the Imperial Legion into whatever the Thalmor wanted. One of which of these conditions was banning Talos worship, as they wanted to push their god Akatosh onto the people of the Imperial Legion. The people of Skyrim were none too happy to hear this, hearing that their god was made illegal. Thus, they became the Stormcloak rebels. Their demands are forcing the Thalmor Justiciars out of Skyrim or killing them if they can't be taken out, and to restore Talos worship in its entirety. The Empire, although, is in a position to accept neither of these ultimatums, as they're in the middle of two conflicts. The Thalmor interest in Skyrim, you may believe that the Thalmor are just here to make sure Talos isn't worshipped, but you would be wrong. The Thalmor actually want the Stormcloaks to win this civil war, because a divided Skyrim means a weaker Skyrim, and a weaker Skyrim means an easier Skyrim to take over for the Thalmor. It's known as a strategy as divide et conquera, or divide and conquer, where you break apart different armies into less cohesive units, so they're less able to attack. Here's a map of Skyrim. The Somerset Isles are here, where the Thalmor are based out of. In yellow you see the Aldmeri Dominion, which is the Thalmor, and the red is the Empire. Over here you have Cyrodiil, which is the capital. The Imperial city is located here. This is where the Thalmor captured. Skyrim is up in this region, and the main dividing line between the Stormcloaks and the Imperials politically is about right here, half and half. That's just for a little bit of context for you guys. Next we're going to be talking about the Jagged Crown. The Jagged Crown is a symbol as the High King of Skyrim has always worn it. Usually it was Nords before the Imperials got there, and thus it has a huge cultural and traditional value to the Nords. But right now it is in a burial crypt, which both of them are trying to secure. The importance of this crown has no physical meaning, as it is a boned helmet, but it does signify High King of Skyrim. Whoever owns it is the High King of Skyrim, symbolically. Last, we're going to be talking about the Stormcloak victory. If you end up siding with the Stormcloaks and you get the Jagged Crown, you progress through the quests, you will end up capturing the Imperial capital in Skyrim, Solitude, and taking over. This will lead to Thalmor, Justiciar being hostile on site in the province, and most Imperial presence is gone apart from a few camps. Next, we're going to talk about the Imperial victory, which happens if you side with the Imperials. You'll go through the rounds, capture the Jagged Crown, and then defeat different Stormcloak camps throughout the province, and then eventually go to Windhelm and capture it yourself, killing Ulfric Stormcloak and restoring justice to Skyrim. Next, we're going to be talking about the peace option, which is if you go to the Greybeards. I haven't talked about them, but they are a certain group of people in Skyrim who can utilize this Thu'um to themselves and train other people to do it. You are one such person that is trained to use this for the power of good, and these Greybeards will mediate between the Imperials and the Stormcloaks to try and find a solution that is beneficial for both, that delays the inevitable war between Skyrim and the Thalmor. Overall, the Skyrim Civil War is a conflict of two tales. There's Stormcloak and Imperial, Thalmor, but that's not a side you can choose in the war. Both of these sides have their points and they have their weaknesses, but in the end, the Skyrim Civil War is currently an ongoing conflict and can be concluded at your will.